course. Next up is Heineken, which is pictured right there in front of you. And interestingly, Dutch-based brewer with operations all around the world. It bought its way into the Latin American market recently. Heineken, Amstel, Equis, and they've got like a joint venture going where they manufacture Windhoek Lager, the Sedibeng brewery. It's all a bit complicated. Market cap is lower than those other ones, 40.53 billion euros. So a big company, but not as enormous as some of the others. Price to earnings ratio 30, dividend yield 1.5%. Share price there looks pretty good. We were hot on it last year. It was moving higher. It's had a little bit of a sell-off in the tail end of the year. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's interesting. What they've done recently, they bought a crowd called Punch Taverns in the UK.
Oh, okay. I missed that one.
Yeah, it's given them...
What happens at Punch Taverns?
Punch Taverns. Well, if you go back into history, about 2008, I think it was, they bought Scottish and Newcastle breweries, and with that came a whole estate of pubs as well. So you put them together now with Punch, it gives them now the third biggest
So then it becomes
estate.
like the default beer in the pub, but then there are other things going on if needs be.
So having those tied houses, they're called, you know, as you say, it gets recognition of the brand across the spectrum there, which is very, very good. Notwithstanding the comments we made about the pound, nevertheless, it's going to give them big, much further reach in the UK, which is a country that's not unknown for its beer swilling capabilities. We're looking at some nice margin expansion coming out of this one. I think of all the beer companies we're looking at this point in time, this probably has got the best intrinsics.
Look, it doesn't have to do a lot, right? It's got its whole global distribution network. It didn't have tremendous earnings, which caused that little bit of a sell-off in its most recent numbers. Apparently, there was a bit of softness in some of their core markets. But someone was telling me that one of the reasons why this thing always sells so well globally is that every single time they make one of these, it's a brand new bottle, which I didn't know. Apparently, the other competitors reuse bottles, and that means it tastes the same worldwide, because a little bit of taste variation can creep in from light getting into the bottle or something, and then the fizz doesn't go out and so on and so forth.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, if you look at the Castle bottle, that's a brown bottle, and that's actually that's better at keeping the light out than a green bottle. Green bottle, conversely, is associated with a premium product.
Oh, I see.
But it's not as good, fun enough, as keeping the light out.
Okay, well, there you go. This was told to me by a chap who I met recently who's a Belgian who lives here in South Africa, and they sell water purification services to the breweries, including the one down in Sedibeng on the way to Meyerton, where the stuff is made. In other words, they purify the water before it goes into the beer.
Yes.
Anyway, enough of that waffle. As far as the share price is concerned, it looks pretty good, and you're going to go hot on this one?
Hot on Heineken, definitely.
Excellent, I will too. It's my preferred beer as well, just to make things more interesting.